Welcome again to Etienne's Place. Hope you had a wonderful weekend and that you're all energized and ready for the new week. Now, 2 weeks ago, we looked briefly at our social security benefits. Now, what you will notice is in most cases, we do not necessarily go through a full topic, all the details of a topic. What we try to do is to, for any given topic, we identify some key things. And I call them gems, the nuggets. We identify some key things that are of particular importance, significance, and can make a big difference in your financial planning. And we focus on those. Now, today I'm turning my attention to your 401k. It is a fact that the good old days of large retirement plans that employers normally provide for employees are long gone. So, for most workers, two sources of retirement income is really what is available. Those are the two that are available. One is the Social Security benefits, and the other, in a number of instances, will be your 401k. Now, the 401k, as a quick little recap, is one where, yes, the employee, yourself, you contribute into that fund, and your employer will make a matching contribution. Now, the matching contribution is at 100% match. In some instances, it may be 6% match. In other instances, it may be 3% match. Bottom line is that the employer is saying, I will match your contributions up to a certain percentage. And as I said before, at times it may be 3, at times it may be 6. Okay, fine. Now, in addition to that, we have certain limitations on the total that can be contributed to a 401k in each given year, calendar year. And the numbers are out for 2019, have been out for some time, and basically your what do you call your regular contribution per year for 2019 stands at $19,000, meaning that you're allowed to contribute up to $19,000 of your income into your 401k. Again, if you are 50 and over, then you'll give a special provision or additional benefit where you're allowed to escalate, fast track your contribution, and so you're allowed to do an additional $6,000 if you're over 50 years old. And so it is possible that your total contributions for the year could be as much as $25,000. Okay, that is the regular contribution of 19,000, and if you're over 50, you're allowed an additional 6,000. Hence, you looking at $25,000. We will not spend much time today looking at the IRAs, the IRAs. But I'll just mention that the IRA, just like the 401k, has its limitations where we have $6,000 total, maximum contribution to your regular IRA, traditional Roth IRA. But if you're over 50, you're allowed to go up to 7,000, 1,000 more. So that's just a comparison. But we're going to spend some time focusing on the 401k this morning. Now, the fact is 401k is an employer provided retirement fund, and therefore 401ks can only be contributed to through your regular payroll. That is why when you get your salary, you will see that among the things that are taken out of your pay before you get your net check would be your 401k contribution. Now, very important to note, Your 401k deduction is a pre-tax deduction, meaning basically employer will take out the required amount from your gross income, among other things, before tax is applied. So all monies leaving your paycheck going into your 401k account is what we refer to as pre-tax money, money not yet taxed. Very, very important to note that, okay? Money not yet taxed. Good. Now, here's where I want to take you this morning. In a number of cases, since employees know that the social security distributions, when they start, will not be anything much. So a person would have liked to be able to contribute as much as possible into your 401k. But as I said earlier on, there are contribution limits to this 401k. So assuming that you have maxed it out at the 19,000 or the 25,000 for the year, whatever, then that is it. There's nothing more that you can contribute to the 401k in that particular year. So you're limited. And that is why, in addition to 401ks, then individuals would also seek to make other investment, investment vehicle, or other things in the overall portfolio. Because the 401k, once it's maxed out in terms of that annual contribution, then you can put no more in it until the following year. Okay? Fine. A question was posed to me some time ago, and I thought about it and decided that I would share this little tidbit with you. Now, if you have maxed, well, let me rephrase that. If you're contributing to your 401k and you have not maxed out on your contributions, then it means that you have some leverage, you have some margin of additional contribution that you can make. Maybe you have not maxed on it because of affordability, whatever the case is, okay? Now, it is critical though to pay careful attention to the fact that if your employer is matching 6% of your 6% of the contributions you make to your 401k, then you would want to, as much as possible, contribute up to the maximum to your 401k. Because 6% of that big figure of 19,000 or 6% of that 25,000 will be a number that the employer will match if he's matching up to 6%. But if instead of contributing the 19,000 for the year, you decide I will only contribute 4,000, say 4,000, then obviously he's going to match 6% of your contribution, and 6% of your 4,000 is what? 6 was 240? Yeah, that is it. So in addition to you not putting additional money in your 401k, from your own money so that you can benefit down the road, you're actually, as it were, shortchanging yourself. Because you're, as people like to say, you're leaving money on the table. Your employer is prepared to match up to 6% of your contributions. And so you want that 6% when computed to be as much as possible. Of course, up to the limit of allowable contributions. Good. Now, since you are limited to the amount that you can contribute to your 401k, Let us assume for a moment that you are now, okay, you're allowed to go up to 19,000. Let us say that you are now contributing, let's say $12,000 per year. Throwing out a number. And of course, that is taken, that is coming out of salary. That's 12,000 for the year. That is coming out of salary. Okay? Pre-tax. And remember I said that in addition to your 401k, you may and is advised to explore additional investment possibilities. So let us say that you find yourself with with some money, whether with a savings or whatever, you find yourself with some money, 10, 20, 30,000, whatever the case is. And you're thinking of engaging in some additional investment, investing some of this money, whether it be 10, 15, whatever, $1,000. Something that you may wish to consider is what is referred to as a 401k swap. 401k swap. And basically, this is how it works. Very, very basic. Say that you're allowed to contribute up to 19,000 out of your salary to your 401k. But currently, maybe you're only contributing $12,000. Why? Because, hey, you have to live. So you definitely need a certain amount of take-home pay to survive. So you can't just go ahead and do the full 90, whatever the reason. Let us say you now have this money, additional money outside, just thinking, how do I invest this money? What's a safe way to invest this money? Well, let me tell you one thing that you may wish to consider. Since you're only, and this is just theoretically, since you're only contributing, say, 12 or so thousand to your 401k, but you're allowed a maximum contribution of 19,000 for the year, then what you can do is to decide, okay, I am only contributing 12,000 for the year because if I contribute any more from my salary, I will not have enough money on which to live. That's the reason. But now, because you have this other 10, 15, 20,000 somewhere else, what you may consider is to go and have your employer increase your 401k contributions from that 12,000 up to the full 19,000. Yes, it means that your take-home pay will be significantly reduced, but not a problem, because what you're doing is the shortfall in your take-home pay resulting from this increased 401k deduction and contribution can now be made good by taking money from what you have and was wondering, how do I invest that? So if you notice, you're actually investing these additional funds in the 401k in a sort of back-handed way. Perfectly okay, quite, it is allowed, authorized. So here what is happening. And the benefit of that is, and listen carefully, one, the money that you have, more than likely, it is money that is post-tax. Is either some savings that would have already been taxed, whatever the case is, this is your money to spend. But by going the route of bumping up your 401k, a couple things happen. More money is going into your 401k fund. As a result of that, since more money is taken pre-tax, you have less taxable income. So your monthly tax bill, your monthly payroll taxes is going to be significantly reduced, because since you have taken out more money to put into your 401k and that more money is pre-tax money, then what is left after that increased contribution will be such that when the tax is applied, your income tax, your payroll tax is going to be much less. So, right here you have two benefits. You're able to bump up your 401k contributions from the 12,000 or whatever up to the 19,000. So here we go, hip hip hooray. My employer is matching 6% of my contribution. So here we go. You're not matching 6% of 12,000. He's not matching that. He now has to match 6% of up to the 6%. So he now will have to match your 6% of 19,000. And so right away you have increased your personal contribution to your 401k. By doing that, you are now pulling in more dollars of the match from your employer because 6% of a larger number is a larger number. At the same time, because you are moving more money out of your paycheck into 401k, you have less remaining for taxes, and so your tax bill goes down. And the money you had saved that you had, otherwise you were thinking, what do I do with this money? How do I invest this money? You can now have this money to bridge the gap. The shortfall in the net pay, in the take-home pay, will now be made good by the fact that you're going to use this money then to supplement the reduced paycheck figure, right? Very good strategy. It's one that has a three-pronged benefit. So that's something that I would definitely advise. And it is safe. It's going straight into an investment that you already have, and this is a way of actually pulling in money, reducing your taxes, and of course, getting all what you call the bang for your buck. Okay? Yes, usually the argument is okay, they take out more 401k out of my paycheck, and that is why I have less pay to be taxed, and so I forego or I skip or I avoid these additional taxes. But down the road, when I'm collecting my 401k distributions, when I retire, I'm going to have to pay the tax anyhow. That is true. That is true. So whether or not you had invested in more money, as we discussed here, you would still have to pay taxes on that distribution when the time comes. But remember, usually at the time of receiving your 401k distributions, usually your earning power is much less, is reduced. And so even with your 401k distributions and any other little income, whether it be passive or so income, will overall put you in a much lower tax bracket than the working years when you are contributing into the 401k. So for example, if now by virtue of your income, of your salary, you're falling in a 20 to 25% tax bracket, and you're able to put aside a lot of money into the 401k, it means that it's only a little bit of money is going to be hit by a 20-25% tax rate. 20 years, 25 years down the road, when you're pulling this 401k, your tax bracket would have been significantly reduced because, of course, you're not earning the large salary anymore. You have retired, so maybe all you have is just, as I said before, maybe a few little passive income, interest, dividend, etc. there. And so you may find that you fall in a tax bracket that is maybe in the 10-15%. And note, the distribution of that 401k at that time will be at the effective actual rate of 10-15%. So you avoided 20-25% upfront when you increased your 401k contribution because that's the tax bracket that you were sitting in by virtue of your overall income. But 20 years down the road, when you're pulling this 401k, when you're getting your distributions, you are no longer in the 20-25% tax bracket. You're now in the 10-15% tax bracket. So whatever distribution that's made to you will have to be taxed at that prevailing tax rate. And so it's definitely going to be a big benefit at the time. Okay, very, very, very important, and for you to look at, because it is something, it's a question that I've had. And mark, remember, if you have maxed out your 401k contribution at the 19 or the 25, etc., then yes, there's nothing more you can do. You just have to use those additional funds you have to invest elsewhere. But I'm saying, to the extent that you find that you're below your allowable maximum contribution, maximum annual contribution, then once you have these additional funds, there's a way to get it into the 401k. Although you cannot just go and say, hey, Mr. 401k, I have additional 10,000 to deposit. It don't go so. You cannot just find a way of writing a check into the 401k plan or fund and say, put this addition. It's not a savings account in the traditional way. But there's a way. Once you're below your maximum annual contribution and you have other funds, there's a way to get those funds into it in an indirect way. And that is why we call it a 401k swap. Because I'm bumping up my 401k to get all the benefits of less tax, more contribution, more matching from my employer. But by doing that, the one fallout is that I'm taking home less pay. And since I need a little money to live on, but no problem, I have the other money on the side that I was thinking, how do I invest it? And that is why I'm using them to plug the shortfall. Hence, we call it a 401k swap. Simple concept, simple term. Something that you may wish to consider. Okay, so there you have it. Just a tidbit. Again, as I said before, we don't usually go through a full topic of what is 401k, etc. But sometimes we take a little nugget from the general topic, and we explore it and see exactly how you can use the information to your benefit. Thank you once again for joining me, David. It's always a pleasure coming to you each and every week. I know sometimes I miss a week or two, but see with me, man, see with me. But we'll try to be consistent. And there are a lot more stuff to come. And as you can see, since the tax season is over, we're branching out into other areas of small businesses, of business management, business development, and we talk about a little investment, a little retirement and thing. Shortly, I think maybe next week or so, I'll think about it. We're gonna come a little more into the various tools and the various as were accommodations, if you may call it that the IRS has for persons who owe taxes, and for us to explore and discover that this is not always doom and gloom and heap on, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? No, there's always a structure, a system that we can tap into to move forward with whatever we have to do, whether it be in our general business, interaction with the IRS, interaction with investors, interaction with customers, you name it, we have it. So again, thank you very much. David Etienne here, inviting you, encouraging you to click. Make sure you're there to be notified, subscribe, so that you'll be kept informed. Okay? Hope that you continue to have a wonderful week. Continue to work hard, continue to be diligent, continue to maintain the highest standard, highest level of integrity. Continue to be a reliable person. Continue to be a person that your clients, your business associates, whatever, can look to and beyond the shadow of a doubt know that you can be relied on, that you are a man of your word. Take care of yourself. God bless. Until we meet next week. Bye.